it looks like I literally bumped my camera. Okay. Hi, it's Kakatic. Surprise! I finally got a video camera. So, here's what's gonna happen. In hindsight, it is spooky season. Spooky night. It's Halloween. And I was running through ideas of what I was gonna do. I know I haven't uploaded in a while, and I figured that I would maybe tell a scary story or two, and then probably play a game, which you'll see in an upcoming video, which I plan to do today. I was currently trying to fix my audio, by the way. Didn't really work out that well. Instead of using a snowball mic like I was using, I've finally gotten a new mic, and it seems I still can't figure out the damn audio for this. But regardless, let's just hop right into the two weird, scary stories I have for tonight. So, scary story number one. So this was several Halloweens ago, and essentially what happened was my younger brother and we were outside. We were passing out candy, and for some reason, this guy in a truck was like, let me park across the street, you know, like a normal person. And this wasn't my neighbor. This was some random dude in a truck, and he thought it was a fantastic idea to do it for some reason, and he was just camping there. No lights on in the truck, not even looking at a phone, but I could see whenever a car drove by, he was just staring at me, like, intensely through the window. So my brother and I had this brilliant idea to bother the shit out of this guy, right? We were like, oh man, it'd be so cool to just go up to this truck and bother this person. In hindsight, that was probably not a good idea. So essentially, me and a Clockwork cosplay, because at the time I was very into creepypastas for some reason. My brother, I believe, was in a green or black morph suit, and so we go up to this truck, and I really don't recommend anyone doing something that stupid, but we went up to the truck, and the guy, he like looks at us, and my brother, he goes to the door where the driver's side is, and he like goes to peek in, which caused the guy to like swing the truck door open and try to grab my brother, and we both jumped back in time before he could really reach or grab one of us. Then he gets back in his truck, and he continued to sit there. So me and my brother were like, that's a little concerning. And we started to tell like parents who were walking by, you know, with their kids. We're like, there's this guy, he's over there in the truck, don't walk past this truck, just for safety reasons. And you know, we were like very concerned for like the safety of these kids. Like, who is this man? He's not even our neighbor. Why is he sitting out there in front of my neighbor's house? So we go in, we tell our parents, we're just like, hey, by the way, there's this creepy guy just chilling across the street in his truck, and his truck is off. It's not, you know, he isn't just like parked there, he's literally like camping out there for some reason. So we were like, call the cops, and my dad was like, nah, you guys just come inside. I'm like, well, why won't you call the freaking cops? Like, I swear, I don't understand why. There were cops patrolling, so granted, like, nothing really ever happened in the neighborhood I lived in, where I was at, so we weren't really exactly as concerned, but it was definitely weird, and it was absolutely terrifying when it was happening, because like this guy full on just reached out. Like he had the ambition to take one of us out or both of us, and the paranoia at the time we were younger was like really intense. And even when I look back to it, it still kind of wigs me out that someone was like actually just sitting out there. I don't know what their intentions were, but hopefully it wasn't as bad as I thought they could be. Um, so the second story, my brothers and I, we were home, and for some reason, there was like a knock at the door, and that weirded us out because typically, people use the doorbell, at least in our neighborhood, and so my older brother looks out, and my mom, she has these ridiculous wreaths, or like things she hangs on the door, so it makes it so hard to look out the window or like the peephole and then be like, oh hi, that is a person literally standing in front of the door. So I, being the smart child, was like, screw it, I'm gonna look out the side window. I looked out the side window, and needless to say, I was a little alarmed to find a dude just standing there with a baseball cap. He looked decked out. He looked like he was dressed for Halloween, and this was like way after Halloween happened. And he was saying that he was the police and that we needed to open the door. So, us being smart and kind of trusting that gut instinct we had, we were like, nah, we ain't opening that door. So I ran upstairs to my bedroom, took a look, see if there was any cars parked anywhere, any sort of sign that someone was there, and we didn't see a car. And then I hear from downstairs my older brother's yelling at the top of his lungs, oh my god, he disappeared, I don't know where he went, he just disappeared. And my younger brother was just freaking out. He runs upstairs, he's like, the guy's gone, like he disappeared. And I'm like, what are you talking about? I literally was looking out these windows, I didn't see anyone leave. And later that night, and I'll show the drawing of this, but later that night I was sleeping, and I keep my door locked in my bedroom. And it was freaking weird because, and I'll pull my sketchbook out. It was weird and bizarre because I woke up somehow and I was having a conversation with someone in my room for like 30 minutes. And I was like, talking to whoever this person was. It was a guy, from what I remember. It was a guy, he had a hoodie, and the hood was covering part of his face, and I couldn't see his eyes really, but I could see his smile, like his nose, his smile. And we were just having a genuine conversation about like the universe and all that kind of stuff. And my eyes were actually like wide open. And I'm trying to find this picture here. Give me 1 second. So I was having this genuine conversation with whoever it was that was apparently in my room. And then he looks at me and says, hey, I have to go. I'm in danger. I need to step back into the shadow. And I'm like, what do you mean step back into the shadow? Like, why do you have to leave? Like, I was genuinely like upset for some reason. He stands up from my chair, goes into the corner part where my bookshelf is, and I'm freaking out. I like scoop back on my bed, plug in my magical fairy lights, and was like, this person's gone. And I'll show you the drawing here. So this is the drawing, essentially, of what I was experiencing, almost. And so basically, I was letting it register in my brain that I was talking to somebody, and when it finally hit me, I was like panicking. the amount of anxiety I was experiencing, like, it is so hard to put into words how anxious I was because I literally, like, yelled out, "Oh my god, there was someone in my room." I panicked so bad that I actually went out, and this was like, like I think an hour before I usually wake up in the morning. So this was like at 4 o'clock in the morning. I normally get at 5. I went out to my parents and I said, "Guys, there was a man in my room and we were talking to each other." My dad freaks out. He grabs a pistol. He goes and he tries to inspect the house, and obviously no one was there. So I know it's not exactly scary while I'm telling it, but the experiences that I had, and that's not even half of the weird shit that apparently likes to happen to me, because, weird shit just happens. I'm a weird person, so obviously weird stuff's gonna happen to me. But it was just bizarre. Like, those two that stood out, they're not exactly ghost stories or some creepy story about how I went to a haunted house or something like that. But definitely alarming. And I think I have one more story that I literally just remembered. I was in 5th grade. I lived in Oklahoma, and I had a couple friends. And in our neighborhood, our complex area, there was a lake. And in the lake, there was this huge, like, sewer tunnel. But the problem with the sewer tunnel was that it was only big enough to where, a bunch of 5th graders had to kind of crouch a bit. So it was almost like we were crawling, and there was just spider webs all over in there. Me, being smart again, was like, ah, that's cool. Yeah, I'm gonna go in there first. I am full on just gonna have the adventure of my lifetime. I'm gonna be the leader of this group because I'm a smart person. So I took this chunky flashlight we had and I went in first. Followed behind me where it was like my friend Zach and 2 other people. I can't remember exactly which 2 people were with me, but they were there. And we went crawling in and we got really far deep in there. There was no end in sight, essentially. This ran underneath all these houses, so there wasn't like another end to the sewer tunnel. It was bad, and we got to a point where there was almost going to be a drop off, but across the drop off there was a light. But when I flashed the light in that direction, it still showed that there was just tunnel, just complete tunnel, no end in sight. And it was just like creepy because we heard a little bit of laughter. And again, being, just big brain, so smart, was like, "Hello? Is anybody there? I see your light. Are you okay?" And it turned to like hissing, and I panicked. I was like, I turned around and said, "Go, leave, now. We gotta get out." So, like, they are getting out. I'm like, "Guys, I'm gonna be the first to die. I legit am gonna be the first to die if you don't hurry up." So we left, and that weird, like, thriller seeking person inside me was like, "Okay, cool, yeah, I kinda wanna go again." That feeling never leaves. Whenever I do something that's like absolutely nuts, just insane, crazy, adrenaline junkie, I guess. I guess I'm an adrenaline junkie. Involving the paranormal, I get very excited and I just want to do more. And it's not exactly the smartest because if you take literally every single person in a horror movie, the person who's like, let's stay, let's see what is in there. I just, apparently I'm that person. So, moral of the story is never go with me to a paranormal sighting because one, stuff always happens, and two, I'm likely to get you in a real life like horror movie scenario. So there's that. But those are really the three main stories that have stuck out to me over the years. There has definitely been more, and if you're interested in hearing more, just let me know. Regardless, I hope you guys stay safe tonight. You know, I get that it's Halloween. Um, there's some crazy things going on in this world right now with I mean, this whole year itself, I definitely am sketchy about going out and doing anything tonight. So yeah, be safe, take care of yourself, and I hope you guys have a good night. Happy Halloween.